What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host, SMARONENINE. So in today's video we are back on Snowrunner, and in this one I'm going to give you guys my top 5 favorite JohnJohnHotRod mods. These are my go-to trucks, so anytime I download a new map, these are the 5 trucks that I usually am exploring those maps with. About 4 or 5 months ago I had made a video. It was like a video tribute to JohnJohn and all of his mods. It was kind of my way of saying thank you for all the hard work. I know exactly what it takes to build these trucks. I know exactly how much time you're putting into all these trucks, and it's crazy. So thank you so much for all the hard work. I hope you're not even close to being done modding. I can't wait to see what the next mod brings. Every single time your name comes up on that website, I get excited. So in case anybody didn't know, JohnJohnHotRod is my favorite modder within the Snowrunner community. The reason for that is because he just puts out exactly the kind of trucks I'm into. So if you look at this K5 right here, which is my number 5 pick, with one mod you can build 10 to 20 variants of this one truck. That's my favorite thing about his trucks, is the level of customization, the add-ons. I mean, you can make 15 different trucks with just one mod. It's insane. And that's my favorite thing about him and what he does with his mods. So let's jump right into this video. So we're going to start right here. This is my number 5 pick. This is the square body K-Classic Supercharged, better known as the K5 Chevy. I absolutely love this truck. This is one of his older mods. I think it's like one of his first 10 mods. I can't remember. I'd have to look at the mod.io again. But I know it's one of his older mods. But to be honest with you guys, it looks like he just put it out yesterday. I mean, that's how good his stuff is from start to the last one he just put out, which I showed in my last video. But let's go ahead. What we'll do is we'll pull them out and we'll get them over into the light so we can kind of see them a little bit. Obviously you guys have probably seen all these trucks numerous times, but for this video we're going to show them again. So I'll just pull this over here. So again, a lot of people don't like these jacked up trucks. I do. This is my thing. This is exactly what I'm into. I friggin' love jacked up, or the option to make them like this. You know, so somebody who don't like I think this is on the biggest tire. It's either a 48 or a 50-inch tire. If you guys don't like this huge tire look, you can bring it down, put it on 35s, 40s. So that's, again, the level of customization with John mods. But this thing, like I said, you take an up close look at this, it looks like he just put it out yesterday. And this is an old ass mod, but it still looks fantastic to this day. I honestly, in my opinion, I think this is the best looking K5 to ever grace Snowrunner. It is absolutely awesome. It's phenomenal. It's a beautiful truck. Very detailed. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the interior, which I think John does some of the best interior work. So clean, looks really good. So anyway, I'm not going to spend, we're not reviewing each mod. I'm just going to spend a little bit of time on each mod. And yeah, so that's number 5. So let's jump back in the garage and we will reveal number 4, which, surprise, surprise, is another Chevy. So this is one of his newer mods. This is the K5 Solid. Now, what he means by solid is it comes in 3 different packages: solid, stripe, and two-tone. I like the solid paint. I don't like the two-tone paint, so that's why I went with the solid. But it's got the big V8 in it, and this thing is absolutely awesome. So let's pull this one out. Let's go ahead and start this one up. So again, a lot of people, since I made that video for John, a lot of people ask me, what is your favorite truck that he's ever put out? And so every time somebody asks me that, these are the 5 trucks I basically send them to and tell them. So a lot of people might know this list, but anyway, this thing is insane. So I got the newer K5 and then the older K5, but going on when he built them, this is the newer K5, that's the older K5, so it's kind of confusing, but I always go with the old faded beat up paint jobs. I like that better than the clean look. The one thing that really stood out to me about this truck is if you look at this K5 and you see this bumper, the old tube bumper that he has on this, he used this on a lot of trucks in the beginning, and this is the first time I've seen this style of tube bumper. I think this is the one and only truck he's put this on so far, and I friggin' love this bumper setup, especially the back. The front looks awesome, but the back is where it really stands out, and it's so cool how this thing folds down. Let me go ahead and start it real quick. I'm sure you guys have all seen this, but I'm going to do it anyway. So if you go ahead and tire carrier, you flip that down. Look how sick that looks. That's so badass. Then you can put the tailgate down, lift up the glass. I mean, it's just level of detail. It's insane. This guy's stuff is just the best. But yeah, that's sick. That's so good. So let's go ahead and, so there's number 5 and 4. Let's go ahead and jump back in the garage. And number 3 on the list is the FJ Builder, or FJ Bruiser. He's got 2 variants, Bruiser and Builder. This thing is sick. It is just, you're probably going to hear me say sick and awesome a lot in this video, but I mean, there's no real other words to describe this stuff other than that. It's just some of the best I've seen. It is the best I've seen. Let me go ahead and bust through here real quick. So I did a review video on this mod, and this thing just, oh my god, it's so good. The level of detail, I can't stress that enough about his work. It's so good. So I don't do much crawling on this game, if any. Speaking of crawling, this map, so this is Remoh's Tough Truck map. There is some crawling on this. This is a fantastic map by Remoh. It's one of my favorites. It's a go-to map. I love testing mods. Every time somebody puts a new mod out, I'm usually on this map testing them out. But when I took this thing around this track, around this map, it just killed the rock sections. This thing is just a phenomenal crawler. And of course, this is one of his newer mods. I think he just released that Dodge that I did in my last video. This might have been the mod before the Dodge, so it's very recent, it's very new, and everything John's good at is just crammed into this mod. I mean, the shocks, the suspension, the detail, everything. It's just so good. Go ahead and jump in the interior real quick. Just so awesome, man. It's so detailed, so good. Just a phenomenal truck. And of course, it is a Toyota, so I bet you guys all thought I was going to go 5 Chevys with my top 5. But that ain't the case, you know. Chevy is my number 1. I'm a Chevy guy through and through. But when it comes to mods and the quality of the mods, I can't deny some of his other stuff, you know. But just a phenomenal truck. And I don't think I jumped back over into this one. I don't think I did the interior. But just an awesome interior in this thing as well. Really, really clean. Very nice. Alright, so that's 1, 2, and 3. Let's jump back in the garage. And we will go to number 2. Now, number 2 and number 1 was very, very difficult for me. Because this mod that you're looking at, this is the Hooligan SUV. This is, yes, another Chevy K5. I don't think, out of every mod John has put out, this is the one I've used the most. This might actually be the first mod that I discovered JohnJohnHotRod back on console days. When I seen this was the first time I said, oh, this guy's good. And then I started looking at all of his stuff. I think this was the first one I downloaded. I friggin' love this truck. This is absolutely one of my favorite mods he ever put out. And it would be number 1, but you'll see why I chose number 1 in just a minute. But this thing is definitely my go-to. So all 5 of these trucks, let me get it back to afternoon so it's a little more brighter. So every one of these trucks I use all the time, but this thing is the first mod I build when I'm getting ready to start a new map. I can't say enough about this mod. This truck is sick. I love it. Everything about this truck is just incredible. Let me bust through here and pull it over by that FJ. Yeah, Absolutely love this truck. It's so good. I've used this thing a ton, like I said. Let me jump in the interior. What's the matter with dude's hands real quick? All right, here we go. Just look at the interior. And this is older. I think this might be older than the other K5, if I'm not mistaken. This might be, he might have built these one right after another. I can't remember. This one I think come out first, and then I think this K5 come out after it, but don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. All the links to all these mods will be down in the description of this video. But I mean, just look at this thing. What a friggin' awesome truck. And for an older mod, like I said, it's like he just put it out an hour ago. That's how detailed it is. And I mean, I don't know exactly how old this is now, but it's could be up there with anybody's top 5, you know. Just a friggin' awesome truck. And I talked about that FJ being a real good crawler, and it is. But this thing is just as good, just as badass. And I've actually had these two in competitions on this map, all kinds of stuff. So I really love this truck. So here we go, guys. There's 5, 4, 3, and 2. Let's jump in the garage, and I will reveal my favorite truck that JohnJohnHotRod has ever built. And it's, compared to them other ones I just showed you, you're gonna probably be like, what? But here we go. So it's right there. It's the Mega Cab HD, the big Dodge Ram. I can't say enough about this truck. Let's go ahead and pull it out. Let me start it up and bring it over where I want to bring it, and then we'll talk about it for a second and why I chose it to be number 1. I mean, if you just look at it, it shouldn't be no surprise why it's number 1. And I actually chose a Dodge over a Chevy. But it's not the make. It's nothing to do with the make. It's to do with the quality of the mod. So guys, let me stop that. So I made a video on this mod when he first released it back on my channel. The video has later been deleted and taken down because I wanted to restart my whole YouTube channel, which I regret now, but that's another video. Anyway, I made a review on this truck. And in that video, I think I called the video Setting the Bar. Now, in my opinion, this is not just my top 5 favorite mod that he's ever done. I honestly can sit here and tell you that I think this is the best mod ever built on Snowrunner. Bar none. I think this is the gold standard of mods. I think this is what everybody should be setting their goals to. The detail on this truck, the best thing about this truck is just that. Just looking at the front end. That is so... excuse my language, that is so fucking awesome. That is just the sickest thing I've ever looked at. I mean, the detail is insane. This truck is, I remember when he first released this, I sat in the lobby, or sat on a map like this and just stared at this truck for at least an hour. I was just free cameraing all over this thing. And it helps because I am a huge fan of Yellowstone. I love that TV show. So when I seen this truck, I just instantly fell in love. The detail in this truck is insane. I friggin' love it. I love the way it drives. I love the way the shocks feel. Everything about this truck, I absolutely love this thing. And when I play my story, like my campaign stuff, I have like 5 of these in my garage on my campaign. All set up different. I got the dualies, I got the emergency, I got this one. I got every version of this truck you can make, I made, and I use it like 90% of the time in my campaign stuff. I use this truck. Anytime I can haul with this, I do, before any of the other trucks. But let's look at the interior. I mean, this thing is just friggin' gorgeous. I've been wanting to redo a video of this truck, just solely this truck, but I just haven't got around to it. It is just a beautiful truck. I mean, the detail in this thing is incredible. Yeah, so I mean, like I said, that Hooligan right there could be number 1 as far as how much I've used that truck compared to this one, because I've used this Hooligan way more than this one. Unless you go to the campaign stuff, then I've used this way more than anything. But either one of these could have been number 1. But as far as quality, detail, this is the setting the bar. This is the gold standard of mods right here. I've never seen a better mod. I really haven't. This thing is phenomenal. Absolutely love it. So anyway, that's my top 5, guys. That's my top 5. Those are my go-to mods that he's put out. And that new Dodge he just released, was it a Dodge? I think it was a Dodge. That's really nice too, but I still find myself with these 5 trucks the most. I'm waiting for the next John mod that's a Chevy. He's released like a Toyota, he's released a Dodge, he's released a Ford. I'm still waiting for that next Chevy. I can't wait to see the next Chevy. But I'm like a kid in the candy store, a kid on Christmas Eve waiting for his mods, and I hope he ain't stopping anytime soon. So that's gonna do it, guys. That's my top 5. Just real quick, a few trucks that I'd love to see him do in the future. Maybe if he's watching this, he'll get some ideas. But my favorite truck ever built is the Chevy K5. My next favorite truck is the Dodge Ram Charger. I am a huge Ram Charger fan. I love them. I love lifted, jacked up vans. And all the add-ons he does with these, I couldn't imagine what he would come up with for a van. That'd be insane. Another thing I'd love to see John do is dip into the car realm, like some Baja buggies or some jacked up muscle cars. I'd love to see him try that stuff down the road. But anyway, guys, he is the man. He's #1 in my opinion. These are my top 5. What is your top 5? What's your favorite mod he's ever done? Put that down in the comments. And that's going to do it for this one, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't. And I will talk to you again real soon.